Thank you for watching the Black News Network, where we bring you the news from a Black perspective, from challenging politically correct narratives to uncovering the unfiltered truth. We're dedicated to keeping you informed.
Wassalam, brothers and sisters. This is Brother War Smith coming at you live with the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA. I will be joined today by my co-host and friend, Mr. Claude Foster, out of Houston, Texas. Today, our topic is going to be on something slightly different because I'm feeling that we spend our entire life now working our ass off to get to a particular point where we can go into retirement happy, fat, and not having to do anything, like go work at Walmart or start Uber driving or Lyft driving or any of those little bitty things that we do to make some extra income. But by the time we put 45 years into a workforce, and it's 45 years. Let's say you start working at 15 years old, and now it's 60. You're thinking about you're trying to retire. You've put 45 years in so far, and if you are missing that time frame, and you are not taking advantage of every single day you have on this earth, then chances are, when you hit 60 and start thinking about retirement, you're still not going to retire, because you have not conditioned your life to that type of lifestyle. So without further ado, this is War Smith with the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, bringing you the news from a Black perspective. We don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. Without further ado, Mr. Claude Foster out of Houston, can you come on in and tell us what you think?
Well, brother, I'm glad to be here. Before I tell you what I think, I'd just like to take a moment to acknowledge our dear brother and co-host Chuck Slaughter and send our condolences to him on the loss of his youngest daughter, Charlotte, and let him know that we're thinking about him this afternoon. You have an interesting topic here. I thought maybe we was going to continue talking about the prison industrial complex, but this is interesting as well. And the bottom line is we die sooner, we earn less, and we pay into Social Security less in terms of the number of work years. So obviously our opportunity for early retirement is affected by that raw data, if you will. If you look at every category from when we start working as teenagers all the way up until we retire, the opportunity to retire earlier is based on those factors like earnings. And we earn less. And even though we die pretty much at the same rate on the two leading causes of death, cancer, and I forget the other one, we die from hypertension, obesity, and diseases like that tend to impact the African American community more so than any other community. So I think the opportunity to retire early is affected by those factors, that we earn less, and oftentimes we don't get a chance to retire. I mean, you think about the friends that you know that have died. Friends that I grew up with that have died from obesity, high blood pressure. I mean, you name it. And so we don't get the opportunity from a health standpoint, and we don't really get the opportunity from an earning standpoint. So, I think, I mean, we hear stories oftentimes about whites retiring in their 50s. That's because they're in a better position to retire. We have to continue to work because of those disparities in income and the types of jobs that we hold, the type of income that we get. I pulled up some information from the Social Security Administration. Almost from the annual mean earnings for African American and the total U.S. population, starting at age 16 all the way up to 65 or older, like in the primary working years, from 45 to 54, the gap is about $20,000. That's $20,000 that the white America can put away and still make enough to live off of, versus the African American community. So, I mean, you have to factor in all those elements into that question as to why we don't take advantage and retire earlier and enjoy ourselves and out fishing and doing all the kind of things that we see others do and enjoy at much younger ages.
Absolutely.
And I think it's again, you really can't exclude racial differences in almost any question you ask. That there's going to be disparities, especially in that category of, why don't we retire earlier and enjoy the benefits of our labor? Bottom line is we're not, many of us are not in that position to do it. I have a question for you related to that, though. And I want to get your input.
Okay.
Like in Africa, right? You pick a country, right?
Mm-hmm.
European vision of Africa is, Europeans see Africa and their vision is, giraffes, lions, tigers, the jungle, right?
Yeah.
And the Africans take advantage of that. And that's what they sell. They work the crafts and stuff. They got business people. They got Africans that sell to that European mindset, right?
Yeah, you turn it into a market.
And turn it into a market, a profit center, a business. What do we have as African Americans that we sell to the wider audience? What
I got an answer for you. Well,
what is it? Let me finish. What is it? Because this kind of relates to, because like if we can go to any Black business event where you have Black people out there selling their crafts and stuff. It's just us. You don't see the wider community buying anything. Like you from Mississippi.
From the Black community.
You from Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that only white folks can sell the images of the past? The African American with eating the watermelon, right? Why ain't we making money off that?
Yeah. Or the Black face.
You understand? If that's their perception of us, why aren't we doing what the Africans do? Why aren't we marketing that?
Whatever it is that's making money, why aren't we using it? Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it? Are we are we that shameful of our past? Because white folks are selling those images, and they're making money off of it.
I got an answer.
My question is, what do we have that we're marketing to the people that don't look like us, other than maybe barbecue and that kind of stuff?
Okay, give me a few minutes to answer, because I have a very long answer to this question. But there is an answer out there, and I'm going to let you know what my answer would be to your question of what do we have to offer. Now, in order, huh?
Yeah. What are we selling?
Okay, in order to get there, I got to kind of walk us through. I always like giving everything the beginning, the middle, and the ending, and telling you what I'm going to tell you.
And I'm gonna
Then
tell
I
you
tell
the
you,
reason why
and
I
then I
asked the
tell you what
question
I
because
say.
it does relate to your this what we're talking about. Why don't
Absolutely,
we retire early?
100%,
So
100%.
I like to get your
And
perspective.
what pushed me into this topic? I'm going to tell you how I got here. All my life, I mean, even in the military and as a civilian in corporate America, I always saw how younger white folks, younger than me, enjoying the weekend. I mean, on the lake on a $50,000 boat, driving a $75,000 truck, and the families out on the river enjoying the day and all these things, all these amenities that they have taken the time to invest in to make their lives comfortable.
The
Now, that
campers,
doesn't mean
the
that they are,
campers, yeah, yeah.
yeah, campers, the whole 9 yards. So after seeing that kind of stuff, this has always been a thought of mine because people would tell you, even when you were retiring from the military, man, I got $125,000 job waiting on me when I get out of the service. And then I'm looking at me saying, what if I could get that kind of money on the job from? I ain't got nothing lined up like that, but these white boys can tell me some shit like that. But the bottom line is, when you go out there, if you see them on the outside, they are not at that $125,000 job. They're managing a Popeye chicken or some kind of shit like that. But I wanted to go back there and just kind of put that my thought out. And this is why I said that we have to work life into our life because we are basically existing as Black and African American here in America. And it comes from the past. We have no control over what's going to happen tomorrow, but we even don't have control over what happened in the past, but we do have absolute control over what's happening here in the present. The past cannot be changed, and the future cannot be predicted. So that brings me to meditation and prayer. You know, God is the omnipotent. He knows all, he sees all, he knows it before it's going to happen. He's got it all down packed. So when we pray, what are we doing? Are we saying that what God has placed in front of us, are we saying that it's not perfect? Because as you know, God don't make mistakes. That's what we drill in our head. God doesn't make mistakes. So the way it is the way it is. Now we go through prayer and we ask God, God grant me prosperity, grant me the health that I should have. And we expect these things to be given to us that we already have. So, what's happening, in my opinion, is that we're being led to believe from 6 years old until our retirement is that everything we want is just around the corner. So, in order for you can't go out and enjoy yourself while you're in the workforce because it's just around the corner. You go to church every Sunday, they telling you everything you want is just around the corner. Nothing is you. I see you want to say. Go ahead. I'm gonna stop.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, it's just around the corner. So nothing is available to let man let us understand it, and it always starts back when we start school. School is a process to indoctrinate you into the ability to sit still, to focus, to have a direction. That to me, when you go to school, they teach you about 8 hours a day to do certain things at particular times. And if you don't do those things at those particular times, then you are subjected to a form of punishment. And that form of punishment can be from a verbal reprimand, It can be from a stand in the corner, a quiet time or whatever they give you from kindergarten or on up. But as you get older, those penalties that you receive for not complying to that basic standard of following the rules, then you end up suffering from the rules that they want to implant in you in order to push you out in society. School doesn't teach you a single thing about living a better life out in society. School does not guide you into how to do checkbook, how to sew on a button, how to iron your pants, how to establish a bank account, how to manage a credit card, how to interview for a job. They don't teach you these things anymore. How to build a house, how to fix a stopped up toilet. Kids do not know how to change a damn flat tire right now because school from 1 to 12 does not teach you a damn thing about life.
I
They
would
only
add, I would add to it. The kids don't know how to put gas in the car.
you've seen some skits like that,
Well,
right? They don't even know what a rotary phone is, man. It's crazy. But these little bitty things that we spent 12 years being indoctrinated into a system that don't amount to a damn thing.
so are you
Because,
saying that the educational and as well as the religious institution kind of puts us in that predicament?
they have it, yeah, they have indoctrinated us into nothingness. Just being able to provide yourself to a society as a commodity to make society grow. Because we are not being brought into the work market to prosper ourselves. We're being brought into the market to prosper the society that's already there. They don't give a damn if we don't learn another fucking thing after high school, which we ain't really learning anyway. You only thing you do is just have to contribute to society. That's what they want to preach into your head and make you believe that that's what your job is when you come out of high school.
So you
But
think
some of
that
us don't.
so you think that when you see the white 50-year-old retired with his camper and his family's out enjoying themselves, when you see somebody on the lake, so you're saying that is because of the institutions that we are part of that instruct our lives, create that.
Absolutely. The institutions teach us a certain level of things, and it teach white folks a certain level of things. It is never on the same level, not not nowhere near
Well,
the
I'll
same.
tell you. I mean, you grew up. You answer this for me. I grew up in Alabama, and from birth to 18, I never heard my daddy talk about one day I'm gonna get me a camper.
I went and got one, and my wife said, "I ain't never seen a black man do that kind of shit."
But I mean, when you was growing up, I mean, who around you did you
It's
hear?
crazy,
How many
huh?
campers in your neighborhood did you see parked in the
I see a few, but they all belong to them. The white folks. Black
right?
folks don't do that kind of shit. And you
But is it
wondering,
because of is it because of our inclinations about the wilderness, about the woods, about I
it's
mean,
about the indoctrination that we don't belong on this level. We are indoctrinated to be servants. And I'm just being straight up. Did you go to all black high school and elementary school? I
I
did.
was,
I
I,
did. I
yeah.
saw my first white encounter was a white student uh,
Well,
in in
the
school. We only had one white boy in our school for
well, the
12
middle school we had it was the Mothers of Saint Edmund taught the middle school, and then I went to an all segregated high school.
years. I ain't never forgot that white boy name. His name was Russell Quarterbaum. I'll never forget it. He was the only white boy in a 700 class. We had 700 kids to graduate that year. But that is what I'm saying. The indoctrination of school is supposed to make you smart. When our conception of what school's going to do is make us a better person.
Well,
But this is now, wait a minute, let me say this part. The two things that I want us to do right now during this conversation is to compare the process that's developed in the prison system and the process that's developed in the school system. Now, first of all, let's get the bus that transports you to the prison. It's the exact same bus, but it's one bus got bars on it, and the other one just got a yellow color on it with school on it. But it's the same bus, and they do the same thing. They transport you to the institution. Once you get to the institution, you're indoctrinated into that particular system of that institution. So, prison and school, you get there, you walk in, and now you are confined to the standard of that facility for the next 8 hours if you're in school, but for the next duration if you're being a prisoner. So, now you're eating the same thing for lunch. You're required to be in your room or your cell at a particular time. When the bell rings, you're required to go to the playground and do your play. You shooting basketball, or you running, and you only go to the playground based on your grade level in your class. The same thing in prison. You only go to the yard based on your category. And when you get to the yard, what do? You segregate yourself into your group. Same thing in school. Your group is over here, their group is over there. When you get through with the playground, the bell go off, and if you're late to get back to your classroom, you get punished. Same as a prison. If you're late to get in your cell, you get punished. So now it's dinner. You get your lunch. You go back. You eating the same damn shit. And in America, it is very poor quality food, and that food really doesn't do anything to nourish our body and make us feel the way we should feel as a healthy individual. It really destroys our organs. We're not getting any better. So, future meditation versus prayer, then school system versus prison system. It's all about training the child. The process of living, not the process of fulfillment. We're not fulfilling our lives. And if we keep pushing our kids to school and not teaching them how to learn the difference and what the purpose of them going to school, we're going to have unbalanced individuals. We're going to have unbalanced individual moving out of high school into the work life. And if we moving out of high school into the work life, and that being college or whatever the case may be, you have a problem with adjusting to the next level if you don't get the basics in school. And this is where I'm going now with this. If you feel like that you've been taught you got to work hard, work hard, work hard, you're going to constantly work overtime. You're going to always do 55 hours or more, 40 hours or more, and you think that you're going to be recognized because you're doing better. Now, what you're doing by doing more than 40 hours a week, you are neglecting your personal life. White boys don't do that. Then you're going to eventually get to a sign of burnout because you cannot outwork an industry. And we believe we can do that. We believe if we put our head down, keep our nose to the grindstone, we gonna get through it. We gonna work our ass into the damn coffin. We're gonna kill ourselves working for these people out here because we are not focused on ourselves. We're focused on what they want. And that is the wrong way to go into a job, focusing on what they want. You got to focus on what you are going there for and your purpose there. And you cannot go in there and just waste your time. Jobs,
So what
jobs are something that people go into to better their lives. And if your concept of going into a job is survival, I got to go get this job in order for me to survive, then you're never going to look at it as a means to a life. You're looking at it as a means to survival. So you're constantly working overtime. You're neglecting your personal life. You're reaching the point of burnout, and it's becoming a mental and emotional exhaustion for you. Uh, you have a lack of self care. And that is where we are right now. I'd say 75 or more percentage of Black people in the workforce today are at a lack of self-care. That's where that obesity comes in, that heart failure come in, strokes, kidney problems, dialysis, cancer, diabetes, all this stuff comes into play because of you thinking that you can go into the workforce and just focus on your job and not focus on yourself. You got to redirect what you're focusing on because that job is going to be there whether you're there or not. And if God meant for you to make money, to be this successful in life, then don't sweat it. Go in, make you some money, take care of your family. Don't allow yourself to get caught up with 25 children and you can't even afford to feed yourself. You have to balance, just like this religion I know, the new Muhammad religion or something that I've heard of. They can have as many wives as they want, but most of them only have one wife because they can only maintain one household with the salaries they're making. But in some cases, some of them are working, getting more money, so they'll take on another wife. But they have to be able to provide that second wife a house of her own car, her own money. You have to be able to separate and provide. And if you can't do that, then you where you're supposed to be with your wife, your
But,
one wife.
but but historically, I mean, when you look at our existence, isn't the Great Migration part of this problem? When Black folks
Mm,
migrated north, and industrialization, the jobs, the auto industry, but
mm,
isn't this part of that? Because I got a
mm,
friend from my brother-in-law's from Flint, Michigan.
mm,
His mother made 50,000. His daddy made 50,000. Together, they made $100,000.
mm,
So they wasn't gonna. I mean, so that allowed them to have a better. Now you would argue, I would argue, a better quality of life
mm. Yeah.
if they had stayed in versus staying in the South and not having gone
Mm,
north during that Great Migration. But
mm.
you're saying that they gave up something.
Yeah. First of all, you got to look at the very reason they migrated. They migrated because I mean, even if they didn't know for a fact, the genes, the genetic appearance of not being able to be at their full potential drove them to leave where they were. And that's what we did. We migrated. Over 1 million and some people left the South going in
Mm-hmm.
all these different directions. And we left because there were no opportunities for Black people. And if you look at exactly what happened, you had millions of people walking off the plantation, and there's no jobs out there. I mean, how 1 million people gonna get out the plantation and go to work? You can't. So they
Okay,
got to go somewhere.
but that goes back to my question: why didn't we create
A market for us.
a market for that? Why didn't we create a market? Was
We've been
was
stigmatized.
slavery
This is
that
why.
severe?
We're stigmatized. We're stigmatized as not
Well, a
being
stupid question.
worthy.
Was it that severe? Yeah,
We're,
obviously it
we're
was.
stigmatized as not being worthy, even though we are the worthiest. We're better than everything that ever came through this country. We're the greatest there is. But because they have fought so hard to make us not be who we really are, even down to what just happened in Russia, showing
I'll
us
give.
the Black Jesus.
I'll ask you a question. Being from Mississippi,
Mhm.
have you gone back to Mississippi and shopped at a store owned by African Americans where they sell little bitty bales of cotton?
No,
We
I've
pick,
seen those little bitty bales of cotton though.
yeah, but
I
we don't
have
sell it.
because we don't have the infrastructure to sell it. If we don't, they like I said, we've
Well,
been
I want to say,
deprived of
but
our
we,
ability to succeed. If people are in our way every step of the way, there's no way we are going to make it. We cannot put a product together because every single time we try and put a product together, we run into this
well, let me
situation.
ask you. This is a better question. What is it about our past that is marketable?
Okay, so you want to put a finger on something that'll make money. Now,
It,
if I could answer
right.
that question,
We're in a capitalistic country.
yeah,
Country,
absolutely.
and
If I could answer that question, then we'd both be millionaires right now. No, I don't give a damn what it is you market as a Black person. It could be the greatest there is. Somebody gonna take it from you. Right now, this is how it is now and how it has been for the last 200 years. Look at all the inventions Black people have made, and it was stolen from them. patent and capitalized by white folks. Look at the Model T Ford. You heard about the assembly line, right? And
Mm-hmm.
my research showed me that a black man showed the Ford family how to do that assembly line, and
Mm-hmm.
they ain't never mentioned. Look at the liquor, Jim Beam. That's why is it Jack Daniels? That's why they got Uncle Nearest now, because Jack Daniels, that that recipe for that liquor came from Uncle Nearest. And Uncle Nearest got no credit for creating Jack Daniels. And Jack Daniels is $1 trillion company now, but
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Nearest is now becoming a $1 billion company because it's the same recipe, just in a different bottle. And a black man created that. So you can come up with 1,000 different things. Now, not just 100, 1,000 different things that black people created that white people got credit for. Me?
Well, my question was based really on this perspective. In,
Mhm,
like I say, in let's say in Kenya,
mhm.
and you have all these vendors,
I'm with you.
and and they come from Europe, and the Europeans' vision of Africa is different than the Africans' vision of Africa.
Mhm.
But the
You
Africans
see
have learned to
all the
market.
stuff they market.
They've learned to market the white person's vision and make money off of it.
Mhm.
How
We
come
don't.
you in the
They
how,
took our vision. They when you get separated from who you are, you're lost in the wilderness. You don't know. Black people right now to this day still don't realize who they are, and because they don't realize who they have no direction in creating an environment of who they are. We don't have a society. We don't have a community. We really don't have a culture, if you really want to be blunt about it, because there's nothing in the black community that's original. But ain't nothing original about what we do. Every single thing that we do that from black American perspective has been given to us by white folks. Everything. Ain't one thing that you can come up with as a black man, a descendant of a slave, that you, as our culture, created that nobody else does. Even soul food. That ain't what the fuck is soul food. Soul food is that is like the biggest misconception of food that there is. That's the worst food you can ever eat. Calling it soul food, it ain't soul food, it's death food. Because what
well,
is
we
soul
call
food?
it soul food.
Soul food is everything that the white man didn't want to eat. And at
Right.
one time, he didn't want to eat the chitlins. So black folks learned how to capitalize on that, even though it was a shit trail. Then they didn't want to eat the ribs. They didn't even eat ribs at one time until we learned how to master
Pig's
preparing
feet and all
ribs.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So every single thing we've done, they've taken credit for it, and they act like they ain't got no shame about it. And then if you try to bitch about it, then they just think we're bitter black people
But
because
but
we're
but
bitching.
but that goes back to what I'm saying. Let's take
Mhm,
a restaurant in the black community, and they're
mhm.
selling uh, the kind of foods you just mentioned.
Soul food.
Soul food. Can that one day be a national chain?
No. Guess look at Patty LaBelle, right? You know about her pies, right?
Hmm.
Who do you think owned that? Walmart. Walmart gets 90% of all of each pie. Patty LaBelle gets 10%. Why wouldn't it be the other way around? It's
Right.
her damn pie, but Walmart takes 90% $1 billion. She takes 10% $1 million. But it's her shit. So that's again in modern day, you see how they take what we create and become billionaires behind it. And we
You know,
can't do
like Sylvia's in New York. They serve high end collard green. I
mm,
mean, you know, why isn't there a Sylvia's in Texas or Sylvia? You know, why isn't there a national chain called
we
Sylvia?
don't have that type of network because we've been isolated from our culture. And I'll go back to that every single time. The only reason we haven't been able to do something because we have been isolated from our culture. and we have no culture.
Well, do
Our
you
life
think Black
started,
History Month makes
our
an
history started the day after the Civil War ended. So what?
Do you think like when Target and these kind of stores profile when during Black History Month and they be selling black themed items like T-shirts like this past Black History Month
Kente cloth napkins.
they had quilts from G's Ben. You've heard of G's Ben, the quilt manufacturer.
What is that? What is that? Let me just ask you this: why are you thinking that? What is that design? That Gucci, is it Gucci? That brown with the gold? That's Gucci, right?
Right.
Where do you think that pattern comes from? The Zulu. That is a Zulu pattern. Where do you think that big blue ass diamond sitting on the Queen of England head came from? Africa. See, they take every fucking thing. They got more African artifacts in England than they do in Africa right now.
but what I'm saying, but the Africans have been able to capitalize on that European perception of Africa.
Because we want to.
Well, why can't we as African Americans capitalize?
Because of the stigma, the stigmatism. We have been painted so far into the corner that nobody wants to represent us. Nobody wants to be an African American. I'm going to just say it like it is. Nobody wants to be an African American or a Black American because we are the youngest species on the planet and we have not found ourselves. And we'll never find ourselves in Black. We'll never find ourselves in African American because we don't belong to anything or anybody. There's no nationality there. Everybody else got one. Africa even got a nationality. I mean, everybody got a nationality except for us. You know, you are not American. The people that are here are not American either, but they can claim it, but we can't. We don't have that. And if we had our own country, where we all are descendants of it. We do have already, but we won't accept it. That's the problem. We won't.
And I'll give you a good example of what you're talking about. Like I saw something on Tiger Woods, right? When he played at Augusta at the Masters, right? And remember that one golfer made a comment about the fact that as long as he don't bring no collard greens and black eyed peas. Now he's half Asian, right? He's half Asian. They didn't criticize the Asian part. He criticized the Black part.
Yep.
So whoever you think you are,
don't matter.
That's how powerful the Black part is in white America.
It's the most power. It's more powerful than anything in this country. The stigmatism of being Black. Ain't nothing more powerful than that here in
because it's been painted so negative.
Yeah, it's the
mark,
power.
like you said, mark from the beginning.
It's the power, from the beginning. It's the power of their marketing scheme for Black America. They have marketed it to a point where it's perfect for them, and they have lived through it. All right, so now let's get to setting boundaries. I mean, characteristics of how healthy work life and balance include certain things. For instance, if you don't set your boundary when you go to work and decide that this is how you're not going to work overtime. I'm going to take my lunch every day at 11 o'clock. I don't give a damn what's on the table. I mean, once you get that attitude and start taking it like that, then you start to focus on yourself. You got to do better time management, not necessarily time management, but situation management. If you can manage situations, your time is automatically managed. So situation management is 100% better than time management. Then you got to manage your stress. People on your job will take away things to make your shit hard. So you might need, like, I'll give you a case in point. I was going to Wayland Baptist University, and I took a class called, statistics. And I don't know no damn statistics. I hate math any damn way. So here I am in statistics class with a fucking number 2 pencil trying to do the calculations, which I was doing the calculation, but it'd take me 2 hours to do what it was taking them white boys to do 5 minutes on a T12 Texas Instrument calculator. which I had no idea what the hell that was until about the halfway damn through the damn course, and I couldn't catch up after that. So I withdrew from that course, and I went back and just took algebra and got a B in that. But my point is, what we don't know, we don't know, and there's no way we're gonna know what they don't want us to know because they figured all this shit out. We don't own what we should own here in this country. We had it, they took it, and they are doing everything in their power not to let us get it back. And it's all done without being advertised or without being done. They got these codes, the shit that they do, even in hiring. If they're hiring two people and your race is not on the application, then there's a code up there. Somebody put a code on there to say this is a nigga. Don't hire that motherfucker. Throw that one in the pile. And that's what they do. One little thing. And then if they can't get you that way, they're going to get you on paper down at the courthouse. So if you got one little thing where, let's say you wrote a check back 25, 30 years ago, and the check bounced, and the people that you wrote the check to decided to prosecute you rather than allow you to come back in and pay that check off, which you could have done. They take you to court. Now you got a pin, you got a charge. So now you want to get this beautiful job, and they ask you, have you ever been convicted of a crime? You fucked from that point on. So they have set the system up to fuck you every step of the fucking way. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but that's the goddamn truth. You can't even go vote without having some crisis. You've been voting at this damn office for the last 25 years, and then all of a sudden you go in there to vote today or tomorrow, and you got to go to this other location over here. Y'all don't vote here anymore because they redistrict your location. So little shit like that, the subtlest shit, and then you don't understand why black people get mad, and then you call the police on her. Yeah, we got that nigga now. They taking you to jail because you pissed off because they don't redistrict shit without letting you know before you don't waste your damn day at work to go over here to fucking vote. Now you discouraged from voting. I ain't voting no damn more in life. Bingo. Got what they wanted. Got you out the fucking system. So stress management, flexibility. If they tell you, oh, you can't vote here no more, so no problem. Where do I go? Go over here. Okay, I'm gone. I go over there. They tell me, well, you can't vote here either. Go over there. I go to the next one. So once we get to the point where no matter what these motherfuckers put in front of us, we're going to go from A to B to C to D to E if we have to, with a calm head and not allow these barriers to stress us out and put us in a position where we quit, then we'll make it. I mean, and as far as our job, that's all it is. It's a job. So you do whatever you have to do in that job to get what you went there for and fuck what they want. You went there to get what you want. And if they don't pay you what they supposed to pay you, and I'm gonna tell you how I made it. I equalized my pay with what the hell you got in there I can use. Whatever it may be, if I can use it, I'm gonna fucking use it. Because I'm not gonna allow you not to pay me what I'm worth. If I got an ink pen that you left on my desk and it belongs to somebody and I needed it, guess where that ink pen going? With me. Because I'm gonna balance my pay. And that's what black people got to understand. White people do it all the damn time. You can walk in an office in corporate America and you see white people standing around with a fucking cup of coffee all damn day, and you in there busting your ass trying to goddamn keep up. And these fuckers getting promotions while you busting your ass and ain't nobody even know you even there. They giving you menial, miscule fucking jobs. So moving right along, let me get off my soapbox. Insomnia is the next thing I want to talk about on the route to where we're going with this topic. Life, our value of life is too important. People suffer from insomnia, and because insomnia, what is it? You can't fucking sleep. You wake up 3-4 times a night. You can't go back to sleep. You tossing and a turning. Trouble staying asleep when you do get asleep. You popping up, saying, "Damn, I'd have missed something." Then you can't go back to sleep, so you get up and you get in front of that boob tube. You're not feeling rested the next day, so you're kind of irritable. You don't want nobody fucking with you. Now you're ready to go the fuck off on the white man because you didn't get no sleep last night or for the last few nights. And when you start experiencing insomnia for a period of time, it starts to mess with your mentality. It starts to make you're increasingly vulnerable to accidents. It changes your mood. You start feeling depressed. You start feeling in ways that's not you. You start feeling irritable. All these different things start to affect your quality of life. So when I say you got to work life into your life, you got to be able to change what's actually happening and make it work for you. Every fucking thing you do outside of your driveway, your apartment, your house, you're doing it for you. You ain't going to no damn meeting unless the meeting benefits you. You ain't going to no damn function unless that function benefits you. You ain't joining no damn organization unless that organization benefits you. You ain't gonna be going out there talking, "I'm going to feed the damn homeless," because now when you start talking about "I'm going to feed the homeless," it's your mentality because you're thinking down instead of up. Why are you thinking down? "I'm gonna go take this bag of clothes down to the homeless people. They need some blankets and coats." You thinking down. Why aren't you thinking
Why is
about?
that thinking down, helping the homeless?
I'm going to tell you because thinking up, you're saying, "I'm going to take 100 of these homeless people and put them in tiny homes." That's thinking up. You ain't doing nothing but aiding and abetting the problem by taking them a blanket and a coat. Put them in a house. Now you're thinking up. Give them a city salary where they can go get $150 every month to pay for a phone bill or free phones or something. That's thinking up because you're establishing a long-term fix, not a momentarily satisfactory moment where you feel good about what the fuck you just did today. "I helped the homeless." You ain't did a damn thing but enable a problem. That's all you did. Stop thinking down. Start thinking up. That's why I say it's down. So you're feeling irritable. All these things from insomnia is affecting you because you're not sure what's going to happen at your job. You're not sure who's going to get that management promotion next month, but you know you're the deserving person. But you already know because you black, you're not going to get it. And then they're going to bring this little punk ass. I started to say MF. They're going to bring this little punk ass MF in that graduated from UT and put him in charge of you. And he don't know his ass from a hole in the ground.
But see, everything that you're talking about, I don't think that you can't. That my whole argument behind we gotta have a separate system. We gotta own one of these 50 states. And I think that utopia that you're describing for black folks can possibly happen in that black space, in that black state.
So I noticed you haven't talked about this thing that I put up every time. I'm gonna put it up again. I want you to comment on this. Tell me what you see.
Well, obviously, these were places where black people developed their own space, highly successful, and there was a certain level of jealousy on the behalf of the majority of the white folks. And they used any kind of incident to go in and do what they wanted to do, which was basically seek and destroy. But all these spaces are cities within those states.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that this map would have occurred if we had had one of the 50 states where people in these different communities could have gone and did what they did in those multiple locations.
Okay, so why do you think Detroit fell by the wayside? Which is one of the places many black people fled to, by the way.
Well, I've been to Flint, I've been to Detroit. Uh, I think anytime, like, I think Detroit is one of those places where, you know, I think I think Detroit failed because the the well, Flint failed because of the failure of the industry's technology,
Mm.
uh,
It's a strategic.
migration.
It was a strategic plan.
Well,
Now, like you said a few minutes ago, right? Somebody went north, and the husband was making 50, and the wife was making 50,
right,
and they combined that 100 grand, and they started living a very, very lucrative life.
very comfortable.
Multiply that by 20,000 black people doing well to that level in a city like Detroit. And the big five industries or the big three industries saying, not no, but hell to the no. We ain't letting these niggas take over this damn city. We moving our shit to Mexico. So why would all the major in the big three, Chrysler, Ford, and GM, why would they all three decide to leave a city overnight just like that? And that's exactly what they did. They pulled out of Detroit and left all them black people with nothing but
Right,
severance.
and is
What happened? You
you
saw what?
you've been down to Flint? Have you ever been down to Flint?
No, I just been to Detroit.
It's ghost town. You got them giant factories. The
Still
physical
there.
places are still there.
They left that shit, didn't
They're ghost towns. Yeah, yeah.
they? They left
It-
it.
it-
They left everything in place too.
I
They
mean,
left it because they knew that people were going to be pissed off and they were going to start taking shit. You know what I mean? They started
okay,
people.
but so what you're saying is you're validating my point is the fact that you're saying that there's not that black alone cannot function in this country.
I'm
Cannot
saying they will not allow black
so
alone to
Flint
function
cannot
around.
recover. So Flint
It
would
has
never
to be a
recover.
fight. If we open a state up, I like your idea about the state, but
I'm
if
saying
we
it's
set
never.
up a state, we're going to have to make that state of black people just like the border between Mexico and Texas. We're going to have to make that state the same
I
damn
mean,
way.
states. Alabama makes deal with Hyundai, and they could be bring. I mean, a black state can make deals with corporate America.
Yeah, of course.
You
But
say, but do you
but
think?
but we cannot allow people, white people, to just come to our state at will. Because if we do, we're gonna fuck up. They're gonna take it just like they took every damn thing else. Why would they not do the exact same thing in our black state that they have done for our entire existence? Why would they not do that?
They took everything that you put up on that map by force and fear.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up in Alabama, the biggest fear of the marchers that marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge wasn't the police on the other side. It
Mm-hmm.
was the river below, because blacks were never
That
taught
was
how
a
to
big
swim.
ass river.
Yeah,
That looked like a really big flowing river. I seen that
it's
river.
deep. Yes, the Alabama River, it flows right through the state.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the fear
Mm-hmm.
that they would be thrown into the water. So I guess what I'm saying is, you're right. I mean, the same elements that destroyed all those towns would exist in a black, especially if it was a successful state. Say it was Mississippi or Alabama, but
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi more likely because of the availability of land and the
Mm-hmm.
large African American population that's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at governance in Mississippi right now. It's all white. In a
100. Yeah.
state that's almost 40% black.
That's unbelievable, right? But you remember when they first lifted the ban on voting and how black people won all these offices in the Senate and the House and in the local governments, and within 2 years, white people pulled together and uprose and forced these black people to resign. They forced them to resign out of these office positions, and black people haven't been able to take that back over since. They forced them. And no, the thing is, I cannot get it in my head why they can do these things. And people act like they don't give a shit. It's done. It's a done deal. We don't have to worry about it no more. They did it. It's over. Forgive them. Bull fucking shit. They did this shit to us. They gotta pay. And until they pay, before they pay, they gotta confess. And
Well,
before they confess, God's gonna continue to taunt them and haunt them until they admit and compensate and rehabilitate what they did to us.
you know, what does 42 million black folks get in a country of 360 some odd million people? I mean, what is our entitlement in this country? I mean,
There's zero. I mean, people think the 13, 14, and 15 was for us, right? Everything that's
no, those
ever
are
been
Civil
done,
War amendments. Yeah.
everything that has ever been done has been done as a result of somebody torturing black people to a certain level where they had to enact a statute or a legislation because of that. Nothing, nothing, zero, zilch has been done to
Can you
better.
imagine? Can you imagine? We're both served in the military, but can you imagine in the 1940s when they brought the German slaves to prison camps in America, military bases? They could eat in white restaurants, and a black soldier in uniform could not.
That's right. That's the
That's
saddest part. This is America, though,
so
and
what.
we've accepted it.
So
That's the
what?
worst.
So is that why blacks have every black for himself kind of mentality?
Yeah, we've accepted it. We can't fight alone, and that is our problem. Every single time we've united to fight a fight against our stability as a culture, we've won. Every single time we have won, but they have figured out how to not allow us to do this here, work together. And as long as they can keep us separate, they got the power. Because the biggest fear white men have today is that blacks, Indians, and Mexicans work together. They are not going to allow that to happen without a fight. So right now we're in that fight to keep to keep blacks, Mexicans, and Indians apart. We're in that fight right today. So they doing everything in their damn power to keep us separate. And they keeping us deflected away from what's really going on by misleading us in the workforce, giving us false securities that we've done well and that we've made it. But yet you can't get the camper and go to the fucking campground every other week. They've given us these false securities. And as long as they think we believe these securities, they good. They don't give a damn what they do. How
Yeah.
can you pass a budget and then think you done and go on vacation for Easter? You ain't did shit. You did what you had to do. That's something that goes without even saying that you got to pass the budget. But what have you done outside of passing the freaking budget? Not a damn thing. Nothing. But do stupid shit like that white heifer with the blonde hair wearing that damn cap to the address the nation speech by Biden.
Well, like back to my original question, like
Mm-hmm.
like what
We got nothing.
what do we have as a black community to market? I mean, some people say we really don't
I
have.
would give $20 for that answer.
I mean, do we have? I mean,
We don't do. Let's start. I mean, what is there? What is it? Is it collard greens?
okay,
Is
so
it turnip greens? Is it?
so let me ask you. So here's a better question: what does the white European, what do they see?
What do they want from us?
What is their perception of the black,
They only see
of
us
the American
as
Negro.
service labor. That's it. Servant labor. That's it. They don't want us for nothing else. They don't want us to
I mean,
represent
we don't
nothing.
have. There's no country, so that they don't see us they don't see a vision of a country where we
No,
are.
because with no nationality. That's the
Right.
bottom line. No nationality. Until you get a nationality, you fuck.
So they see nothing of
And
value.
we ain't gonna get no nationality because they got keeping us separate down to
So they
something.
see nothing of. They have no perception of anything of value.
They don't see a single thing that's valuable about us for
When I went to, when I
other
went to
than
work,
other than a resource.
when I went to work at City Hall, and they created this new district, District K, 200 some thousand people.
Mm.
The white woman that used to be in a district that was the boundary was changed, came to work for the council member. She had never been in the black part of the district, Houston. She had no reason to ever go in the black part of the city, the town.
Mm.
Now, that's not true for black folks. We've been to the whitest parts of the white community.
In what capacity?
Shopping.
In the garbage, as a garbage man? As
No, we've been.
Worker?
We've been. No, what I'm saying, right in San Antonio, there probably are white people in San Antonio that's never been on the east side.
But
that's where the majority of black people are.
It's open to black people. But there's neighborhoods right now.
I mean, the good thing is, because even the white people that have been to the east side only have been there to go to the stadium.
And if they go there, they,
it's a direct route. I mean, look how they fixed that street to get them in and out.
Hey, yeah, look what they did down there to get people in and out of the AT&T Center.
But now stop. Ain't no stopping.
No, they made sure you can get in and out of that city without stopping.
Didn't they promise the community there would be coffee shops and all kind of
I'm still looking for that shit. But the thing is, white man still gonna own it. Well, we don't own it.
But they got all that, right?
We're not gonna get the loan. We're not gonna get the same loans that they get. Don't give a damn how good our credit is. I don't give a damn how good the business plan is. They're not gonna give us the fucking money.
But my second question: would rights would they stop there? Would they feel comfortable there? Because they got all those conveniences inside the stadium. They got what they promised on the outside, inside. And who owns it on the inside?
And those vendors we don't own any of that shit.
My point. So
I don't even think the AT&T Center got a single black vendor.
But they got to have a barbecue shop or something up in there. Nope. Owned by black folks.
They ain't got no Chapman chicken, I know that.
Nothing.
They don't have it, man.
Not one black vendor. Not one black vendor in AT&T.
Not one black vendor in the AT&T Center. That's 100. Not one. Ain't that sad? But see, we accepted our people that are on the east side that are in the positions of power right now. They accept it. Like the NAACP, they know this. They ain't gonna do nothing about it. They know it. Like all the Mason organizations, they know it, but they're not gonna do anything about it. The Kappas, yoga organization, the Omegas, they all know it. And they got houses over there on the east side. They got big ass, beautiful houses, all these fraternities, and none of them are doing it. They're thinking down. They're not thinking up. They're not making a difference. They're just abating and abetting and enabling a problem. That's all they do. Every single one of them. How many times have you ever, now this is the question I got for you. Have you ever in Claude Foster's entire life seen every church in your city do one single thing together?
Okay, now I have seen that. When I was serving at council, the council member for District K, there are at least 5 mega churches in his district. I mean, the big churches, 1,000 or more members in his district, and they all came together to put together this. I forget the name. I still got the T-shirts to put together this united event where they would have an event that would benefit the whole community. And council member pulled that together. Now, since he left, they hadn't done it since. But I have seen that. I have seen an attempt to do that.
Was it a success though? Do you feel like it was a success?
It was a success in the sense of those 5 mega churches, but in his district there are 99 black churches.
What about
99.
what
And
about
one
the
of
other 94?
huh?
The other 93 churches.
There are 99 black churches in his district, and
I
5
don't
of
mean
them,
to laugh, man, but that. Don't you think something wrong with that picture?
and 5 of them came together to put together this
But why only 5?
because
Well, you got 99.
because
I mean, that's the problem I
because
see.
because basically he was wanting the largest black churches that had the most influence to come together, and by coming together it would show all the rest of the churches that it can be done at the highest level instead of trying to do it at the bottom.
But has
And
it happened that they couldn't do it again? Why is it they only want to do something like a conference? Like this woman.
I think the bigger issue is I think it's like I always told them about the fact that there are 99 black churches. That means on Sunday morning you got the black community going to 99 different places on a Sunday morning. Now, and all them black churches don't render the same message.
And they don't communicate with each other.
They don't communicate with one another. They don't. There was no entity. Now we did create what we call this bridging the divide, where all the churches and the educators and the business community could come together, and that was working. I mean, it was in the infancy phases. So there are things out there that you can do, but the black community is so divided, man. Like I say, you got 99 different churches with 99 different philosophies about what's in the best interest of black folks. You're not going to build no unity like that.
So I had an idea, and I wanted to ask you about it. I was thinking about drafting a letter and sending it to every major black organization in the city. And that may include, church districts. Like I'm thinking many of these churches, like 6 or 7 churches may belong to one district where they all work under one philosophy or something like that. But they different, but they meet once a month and work under a certain philosophy. I want to send letters to all the head of houses of fraternities, churches, organizations that are black, nonprofits, and ask them to send a representative to a particular meeting. And at that particular meeting is where we talk about how can we come together and do something for our people.
Well, calling it bridging the divide or something similar.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. You think something like that might work?
It's a start. Like I said, we did it. It is really incumbent on getting the right location, having the right message go out from the right messenger. It's got to be somebody. It's got to be the right messenger that sends out the message. You got to have a good location. You got to have food. So whether it's a morning meeting or midday morning meetings are the best, where you invite like you say, the fraternities, sororities, the business community, the church leaders. Everybody's not going to show up, but it builds.
But if we send out 100 letters for this, we set the date, we set the time, we set the agenda.
What are you trying to?
What am I trying to accomplish?
Yeah, what are you trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to unite a force where, let's say, we had a police to kill 4 black kids in the street. I want to create a force, not necessarily to go after the police, but to go to City Hall to get an understanding of what has happened, to get the police video released to the public, to get in contact with the district attorney and make sure that somebody is being held accountable for that particular shooting. If one person's trying to do all this, they blow your ass off like a fly. or a mosquito or a gnat. They blow you off. They don't do shit. So if we did it with all these heads of houses, sending a representative for that, for instance, if something happened and we've already established this coalition, then all we do is pick up the phone and start calling. And we're going to meet here on this date at the next city hall meeting, at the next city council meeting. So at that time, we send a bus around and pick up everybody and go to city hall. We make it that convenient for us to work as a unit. And it's almost like that scene I see it with when what's his name, Denzel Washington played Malcolm X, and he went like this. He did that.
I
You
don't know,
remember
brother.
that? Huh?
I don't know whether that's possible. I mean,
It's a tall order, ain't it?
now you have Muslims there in San Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
A Muslim group organization.
Mm-hmm.
You have any other black, like the new Black Panther Party or anything like that?
No.
You got
You got motorcycle groups.
you got motorcycle groups. You got
I gotta tell you, I never told you what happened.
you got the NAACP. You got does San Antonio have an urban league?
Not they got a white one.
Okay, they don't have
They got three chamber of commerces.
but they don't have like a national urban league, the black one. That's no local. I'm surprised San Antonio don't have one.
Do you know Byron Miller?
Yeah, I know Byron.
Byron to me has the ability to be the most pooling character in the
And he
city.
ran for mayor, right?
Huh?
Didn't he run for mayor?
He ran for city council
I mean,
with
city council.
Mr. Ivy Taylor. But see, he messed up when he said poison ivy. When he played the song like a week before the election. And the song was you remember that song, Poison Ivy? He played that on national media and everybody turned their back on him. And he ain't been in the limelight since. And then he got caught beating up his wife, um, in Converse. And he got locked up and released. And he went downhill for real fast, but he ain't been involved in nothing lately. They even appointed him judge over at Bear County. I like the guy, and if he could focus on taking care
How
of the
about
people,
Mario? How about Mario Salas? He's
same person. Mario Solomon is a great guy, and sooner or later you get burnt out of dealing with these people that don't want to do shit. And I think Mario is in that zone where he's not gonna waste his time trying to pull this shit together.
and who's the county commissioner?
Calvert, Tommy
Yeah.
Calvert. Tommy Calvert working up at the daddy. He has the neighborhood coalition.
TC Calvert,
Right?
yeah.
Huh?
TC.
Yeah,
TC
he's
Calvert.
still going. But that organization only got one black person in it, and that's TC. The rest of them are Hispanic. And so all these organizations got potential. I even went to the neighborhood alliance a long time ago. TC started something that was working. He was giving each agency a grade from A to F on how they work with blacks, not minorities. We not minorities, we black. And most of the organization got either a C, D, or F. Nobody got praise for working with black. So eventually, after about 4 or 5 months, I mean, we rolling hard. I'm in the game with him. I feel like we moving somewhere. So next thing I know, Bia, who had gotten an F the week before that,
That's the transit authority.
yeah, Via had gotten an F. Next thing I know, we having the next meeting at the Bia conference room, and we're highlighting a black millionaire from somewhere else. And I'm saying, TC, what the hell are we doing? And we're just showing, we're showing how black people can be successful. That was the last meeting I went to because he had been bought off. And I'm saying this on national media, he was bought. And otherwise, he would have still been giving them Fs. And then it went from Via to Zaha. to CPS to SAWS to all these different agencies in the city, and they were hosting the meeting. And at the same time, in my opinion, now this is just my opinion. Like I said, I own what I say. They were paying him off, and he was giving them A's and B's and bullshit.
Is Henry Cisneros still active down there in San Antonio?
Who?
Henry Cisneros there.
I thought he was dead, man.
He died?
Yeah, Henry Cisneros been dead for 20 years.
No, not okay. Not is it Henry Cisneros? No,
Huh?
has he?
I think so, but don't quote me on that one. I don't know for sure, man. You might be right.
Wasn't he the mayor?
Yes, Cisneros was.
Oh.
But that's where we are right now, man.
You can pull something like that together. I don't mind you calling it the bridging the divide. Organizations like the NAACP, the Urban League,
every single one of them.
The church.
Mario has an organization too, but they only focus on what the police do. He's part of that organization. I went to a few of their meetings. They even had some meetings at my bar a few times. But I like TC and I like Mario, but they never work together. Never. But with that, I think we've come to a close almost, Claude. So I want to give you the opportunity to go ahead and say your final comments, and then we'll be I'll say mine and then we'll close.
Huh? You back?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. Say what you feel.
You can. I mean, my frat brother up there, Otis Blewett. He's over the education thing for the local Alpha chapter up there. He lives on the north side. He's ex-military major. His wife is an ex-military colonel, ex-Air Force colonel, and he was an Army. They do that scholarship. Do you ever go to that scholarship that they have up there every year?
A scholarship award? No, I don't approve of any of that because it's all thinking down with me. Every year, most of these organizations, they ain't got no damn money as it is, but they come out and they high side $1,000 scholarship here and $1,000 scholarship there, and they do it for a photo op and to make it look like that they doing shit in the community, but they ain't doing a fucking thing. And 9 times out of 10, it's the son or daughter of one of the members in the organization.
Well, corporate America funds. That's they get their money from corporate America, and so that eases corporate America's black consciousness that they're doing something for the black community. But the people that you represent,
why don't they pay it to a university? Like we trying to keep that HBCU in San Antonio, which is gone already. I know you know, right?
Which one?
St. Philip's College is no longer an HBCU.
What is it now?
It's a community college for the city. They took it. It's no longer falling under the HBCU category. Mm-hmm. And the black people let that shit go. They let it go. This has been 5-6 years ago. Why would you allow them to take that?
San Antonio is a weird place for black. Most of the black people in San Antonio, aren't they military affiliate in some way?
Many, I'd say 30 to 40% of the people black people in San Antonio are military affiliated.
You think it's that high?
But that's still that doesn't make them an outsider.
No.
And people look at it as they are outsider. They don't participate in city and local government. They don't participate in nothing but their own little shit. And their own little shit like the Qs, right? The Qs pick up paper once a year on New Braunfels from one end to the bridge from 10 to 35. And what the fuck good is that, man? You ain't really doing shit. You out there with your Q jackets on, all your Q shit, but you just picking up fucking paper. And I figured out San Antonio when one day we were trying to get my name, not my name, but the bar's name, my bar name on a roadside where we would take the bar which is everybody, and go out and clean it up. Then the two people that were on the committee that was responsible for that shit, they put the name in their name. The two little people, it was two people in one club, and they put the roadside thing in their name.
Cause you had a club up there, didn't you?
Yeah. And then they was expecting the club, my club, to get behind them with their name up on the fucking sign. No,
Oh,
that's y'all. You ain't got but two people in your damn club. Why the fuck
okay.
would you do that?
And they were supposed to put Smitty's bar on the.
Yeah, it was a motor. Yeah, motor. This was there because all the clubs, all the black clubs came to Smitty's. And then I tried to, that was one thing I did. The second thing I did was
So all the black motorcycle clubs met at your club?
yeah,
Oh,
all of them. I had any given Thursday night, I have 300 motorcycles out there. A lot of damn bikers. I mean, from all aspects of every club in San Antonio at my bar, which was the very first black bikers bar in the city. And that's what I like doing. The very first shit I did that.
wow.
I had the very first black bookstore in San Antonio, and then I had the very first black motorcycle club in San Antonio.
What happened to your bookstore?
Divorce.
Oh, okay.
Money coming in the front door, going out the back.
I mean, I lived in San Antonio. What was the bookstore at?
It was on FM 78 in Shirts. You know,
Yeah,
you know how FM 78.
FM 78, yeah.
Right? You know Randolph, right?
Yeah.
You pass Randolph, there's a little gas station down there, right on the side of it.
Uh-huh.
Right beside that gas station was the bookstore.
How was it? How was the business? I mean, did the military?
Man, that bookstore was making from anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month. Because I sold to all the frats. I had all of your gear. I had rights to sell all this stuff. And we were making good money. But then when I got everything running, I got a call from Boeing Aerospace Support Center because they needed a logistics manager. And they started paying me some damn money. And I said, fuck this, I'm going out here. So I left my, at that time, wife working at the store. And then her brother asked to come to town. And so I told her, yeah, he can stay with us. Next thing I know, my money down there opening up his store.
Wow.
That was the end of that story.
So you own a number of businesses there in San Antonio.
Yeah, man. I was the first one to do a Masonic and a fraternity store in the city. But in actuality, it was a bookstore. But I call it Smitty's 33rd Connection, which I did all Masonic books, all fraternity books, all fraternity regalia, everything you can think of. I bought it, and I even did fezzes right there in that store. Aprons, gloves, socks,
Oh, okay.
your jackets, everything you could think of. I had it in that store. I had probably 1,000 books in there, a lot of books about everything black. Even the white people were buying from me. They used to come by. Shit.
You were kind of like right outside the bases gate.
Yeah,
That little
right
shop
on 78, going towards Shirts.
Yeah.
I was there for.
What years was that? What was that?
That was 96, 97, 98, and 99. Almost 3.5, 4 years. And I used to go to every major function that all these organizations had, and I'd set up with all their gear, and I was pulling in 3,000-4,000 a weekend just from going to these events. So it was a lucrative business. And you know, when this shit happened between us, you know, I just lost interest in it and shut it down.
You opened up the bar after that or before that?
After that.
Oh,
then,
okay.
Then the bar, I saw an old gas station on the east side, and I said, I'm going to get that and turn it into a bar. And I redid that entire gas station from right here and turned it into a profitable bar. And when this is the kicker on that bar. When COVID hit on March, was it 2019?
Uh-huh.
When COVID hit, I'd say March, in February, I had went down to the city of San Antonio and got a food service certificate to turn my bar into a restaurant. And I
Right.
had no idea that COVID was coming, right? Nobody knew about COVID. And so COVID hit on March 14th, 2019. And the city of San Antonio went from moving this way to stop. Everything stopped. Bars, restaurants, everything closed. And then about 2 weeks later, the city said, well, we're going to allow restaurants to open. So here it is. I'm the only bar on the east side that can open because I had went down and got the certificate
Restaurant, right.
to be a restaurant. So once I opened up as a restaurant, then every police and every agency in the city was coming over there trying to shut me down, man. But they couldn't because I had the paperwork right there. So I had got to the point where you walk in the door, I point to the paperwork right there on the wall.
So what would they want to shut you down for?
Because I'm the only bar running on the east side. I'm selling liquor, but I'm selling food too.
Right.
So they didn't want me to be in business. That's what they didn't want. I got 14 citations.
Damn.
I even had the rangers, the game wardens, came in there and put a damn big ass orange sticker on my door. I tore that shit off and opened right up. I ain't give a damn.
Now, what was the bar at? Off of FM?
Yeah, well, you get on, you know how you get on New Braunfels, right? Coming off 35.
New Braunfels, yeah.
And you go to Houston Street where the HEB is at.
Right, I know where.
And then if you turn right, you got Midtown right there, right? You remember Midtown?
Yeah.
You keep past Midtown, and the next thing you're gonna see is a gas station on your left. That's it.
Now, did you know Thomas Rockymore?
No, I did not.
He was the NAACP president there for a while.
I think I got involved with them right before a HUSPEC.
You never did work. You never did work there. That Freedom Fund banquet.
No, because that's all they're trying to do is get money, and that's the only thing they do. The only thing they do.
They don't go to city. They don't go to city hall. They don't.
They got committees where they send one person here, one person there to different meetings, but nothing gets accomplished. Nothing.
They still meet over there.
They
still meet over there at the Clark Black Center.
Still there. But anytime you go over there, they ain't there. You can't never catch nobody. At all. You can't catch nobody. The only time you hear from the NAACP is dues time and banquet time. That's it. So I just said, I ain't paying no more damn dues to y'all because y'all don't do shit. I was a member at one time. But anyway, anything else to close, Claude?
Oh no, we've had a good conversation. I still say a black state is our only recourse. They've destroyed our black cities and towns. Mm-hmm. If we control the state troopers and the National Guard and all those protective agencies, I don't think it would happen in a black state. I think a black state will provide cover for the black small businesses. I think our education system would be better because we would appoint the director of education. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if we're going to play this game in America, we got to do what everybody else does. We got to get control of something.
Let's build a black state in our next meeting. I'm for real. What would it take for us to do this? Let's build it in the next meeting. So I can do some research the rest of the week, and then you can do some research, and then we come back next Sunday, and we'll talk about how to build a black state.
Let's do it.
How about that? That'll work?
That'll work.
You've been talking about it for months. I want to get to that. Let's get with it, man. Let's find out.
Yeah, since we as Black Americans are not connected to nothing,
right?
We're not a continent. We don't have. There are 50 states, and we don't control not one of them. And this is a federation of America is a federation of 50 states. Mm-hmm. We're the largest minority. Mm-hmm. We don't control not one of them. None. I mean, some people, different ethnic groups control different areas. You got Mormons control Utah.
Yep.
You got Jews controlling, say, New York
New
State.
York.
You got, so you got different.
You got Cubans controlling Florida.
What do we control?
You got the French controlling New Orleans and Louisiana.
Well, yeah, you got Southerners, but I'm just saying that as the country's largest minority group,
we should do better.
We should have.
Would you take Montana?
But see, that would require black folks ain't moving that far west.
They ain't going to Montana, right?
You know.
But that's what'll happen. They'll give us a state that nobody wants to go to.
Now, I really believe that we take over a state, a part of the country that we're familiar with. We're familiar with the South. That's where the majority of us.
Well, we got you still say Mississippi, which would be the easiest state to take over.
I keep saying Mississippi and Louisiana, Alabama, because they would be easier. South Carolina.
I think that would be the ideal state for us. We need a port.
Think about it. Almost half of Louisiana's state budget comes from the federal government, yet black folks don't control none of it. Mm-hmm. Mississippi. Look what they did with those education funds in Mississippi. That money that was designed to go to people at the bottom of the well there in the state, welfare recipients and stuff, and they spending it on a basketball court for Brett Favre's daughter. Billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So I just think that we gotta that would at least give the 42 million black folks in this country some options. When our smartest and brightest graduate from these colleges and universities, they would truly have somewhere to go.
And in Mississippi, you got 3 HBCUs.
You already got 3.
Valley State, you got Alcorn.
And you got Jackson State.
And Jackson State, yeah.
Yeah.
3. And no other state got 3 HBCUs.
Now, Alabama
does. Huh?
Alabama does. We got like 4 or 5.
Oh,
You got Tuskegee. You got
Spelman.
You got Tuskegee. You got Alabama State. You got Huntsville A&M. Alabama A&M up at Huntsville. So you got 3 major black colleges, and you got some smaller black colleges. Like right there in Selma, you got Selma University. I mean, it's a smaller one. Mm-hmm. So
what you got
between Alabama and Mississippi. So the intellectual folk are already there. It's just that when they graduate, they come to Texas.
They leave town.
Texas.
Well, let me go ahead and close. We've been here going on 2 hours now.
But let me say this: Texas got more black folks than anywhere else in the country. But what is that?
We ain't gonna get Texas.
We ain't charging nothing. Black folks ain't doing business with the state. What, less than 1%?
We ain't getting Texas.
So it's not strategic. Those black folks come to Texas for jobs. To work.
What about what's on the other side of Texas? Arizona?
You ain't taking Arizona. You ain't taking Arizona from the Hispanics.
So you saying anywhere from Texas to North Carolina?
I'm saying anything from Texas, as far west as Texas, and then going south. So
all the way up to North Carolina,
Georgia,
West Virginia, Tennessee.
The original the states that where we were slaves at.
Okay, the 11 states that fought against the Union.
Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia.
What about Kentucky?
No, I'm not Kentucky.
You don't want Kentucky. Let me get off this stuff, man. We're gonna talk all day. All right, but this is the topic for next week. All right.
Yeah, let's
talk about what state we gonna get. So, first of all, I want to say thank you, Brother Claude, for being a member today, and I look forward for our conversation next week as you being the co-host for the Black News Network. I think we're gonna have a deep conversation, and if we stay on 2 hours, 3 hours, we're gonna do it because I'll be prepared for that. So next Sunday at 3:30, y'all, it's gonna be on and popping. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA. broadcasting live on Sunday at 3:30. You can see an episode from last week tomorrow at 6 p.m. and you can see us again at 3:30 on Sunday. Please like us. Go down there in the bottom and like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And I would very much like for you to be a friend to this page as long as you can. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Work life into your life. This is episode number 192. Have a great day, and I'll see you next.